Hi, I'm Kate. Welcome to Katie Bird's Nest. This is the Artist Way Week 4 check-in. Week 4 is recovering a sense of integrity. This is the dreaded week of reading deprivation. And I did it. I did the entire reading deprivation for the week, and I took it a step further. I didn't watch TV. I listened to very minimal amounts of the Pandora station. I kept what I did listen to. I listened to the yoga workout station, so there was very few words in the music I was listening to, and I was usually doing yoga when I was listening to it. And I didn't watch any movies. I did check my email, but I was checking it on my phone mostly to delete spam, and I didn't really get a lot of personal emails, so I didn't have to read a lot of things. I didn't check the news at all, and there really wasn't anything in the news I care to read about nowadays anyways. It was wonderful. It was actually a really, really nice week, and it is the week of Christmas, so I wasn't bombarded with sales and buy this and buy that and commercials and all of that, and I did miss out on listening to Christmas music. So that was a little bit of a bummer. I did listen to some Christmas music last night when my in-laws came into town and was waiting for them to show up, and I put on the Fireplace TV channel on YouTube and turned on some Pandora station Christmas music, and that was nice. But I kind of figured last night on Saturday I was Christmas Eve and reading deprivation was pretty much over at that point. I could listen to some Christmas carols while I was waiting for the in-laws to come over. So it was pretty easy for me to do that. So the main points for the chapter in week 4 were honest changes, buried dreams, and exercise, and the reading deprivation. So I added the additional affirmations to my morning pages. I did do all of the morning pages every day, and then on my 4th page, in addition to the 3 pages of morning pages, I have the affirmation page. I changed up my affirmations. I added, a stronger and clearer me is emerging, and then I added, Let me see if I can find it. Oh, it's not in this notebook. I accept you're good willingly, something like that, were the two of the 4 recommended affirmations. I swapped out 2 of the other ones and added those 2 in for the week, and that felt really good to change up the affirmations and write a little bit shorter ones for a little while. Let's see, what else do we do? Resting on the page. So I'm coming to enjoy the morning pages, and I'm coming to understand what resting on the page is. I'm just naturally getting up in the morning earlier. I'm starting to get up at 7 a.m. instead of at 9, and that's working out really well for me, and I'm getting my day started a little bit smoother. I'm having more of a routine, and it's nice. It's not as much, oh, okay, what do I have to do now? What do I have to do now? It's not as much of a checklist. I'm just kind of getting up, and I know what I need to do next, and I want to do it. So that was enjoyable. For the changes part, I felt like the routine is more comfortable, and I don't have to force myself to do the morning pages. I know some of the reading was saying that people would stop doing the morning pages when they really need to do them, and that didn't happen to me. I didn't have any time when I felt like I didn't want to do them. I wanted to do them every day. So for reading deprivation, the things that I did instead was I did a flashback series of videos for my planner side. I had done a lot of videos during the summer with my planning community things that never got posted. So I spent a lot of time doing video editing. I figured that didn't count as reading deprivation. It was an artistic kind of creative outlet, and so I spent several days poring over video footage and editing and splicing things together. So that didn't involve reading, and it was just listening to my voice talk. It wasn't other people, it wasn't the chatty radio talking at me. The other things I did is I started doing the daily walk, the actual going outside for 20 minutes by myself and going for a walk. I was doing that every day. And then I was doing the yoga every day. I also started doing some watercolor, not every day, but watercoloring I was doing. Coloring in coloring books. I started trying to brush the cat every day. He's kind of an old cat, and he's kind of on hospice at this point. He's got something wrong with his bladder, and we were told he's got a couple of months, and I thought, oh, I should spend more time with my kitty, and so I thought, oh, I'll brush him every day. Spend just a couple of minutes with him, and he seems to be really enjoying it, and he's become more part of my morning routine, which has been really nice for both him and I. I think his quality of living has gone up because I'm paying more attention to him and not just kind of like, hey kitty, and walking by and busy with my life. I'm actually spending quality time with him every day. So that, I think, is nice. I don't know, I mean, I wanted to do that, but it's just so easy to get caught up in your own life. And obviously my cat is more important than watching a TV show or sitting down and reading a book. And just a couple minutes every day makes the relationship with him a lot more important. I did a lot of Christmas shopping, a lot of wrapping paper stuff, more cooking. I did some journaling exercises, not prompts, not like reading prompts and then journaling, just straight up journaling, because I did have an encounter this week. I had an encounter with myself. That was a part of the chapter reading as well, where you have an encounter with yourself and you get to know, you meet yourself, and meeting yourself is a form of self, you get to know yourself, and then it snowballs into self-expression, and then you're an original person, and then because you're an original person, work flows from you, and it's kind of like digging down into your creativity. And so I had an encounter, and it was not a pleasant encounter, and so I journaled because of it. And it was very, very unpleasant when it happened, but I thought I learned a lot about myself during that encounter and after the encounter, and it was a very productive week, and I think that the reading deprivation triggered that encounter, and if it hadn't been for the reading deprivation, that encounter might not have happened when it did happen. I think it would have happened eventually. It just might not have happened so quickly. Let's see, what else did I do? I did a lot of craft projects, kind of like do-it-yourself, little crafty sort of things. Cleaning, tidying the house, of course. I did some jigsaw puzzles, and I kind of got bored with that because I'd done them before. They're puzzles that I already owned. I did some template documents for my business, just kind of busy work that needed to get done, and I thought, wow, I'm getting so much done this week, but I'm not watching TV and movies and reading books and filling in all this time with kind of frivolous things that I thought would be relaxing. And I was like, all of these other things, getting these things done is more relaxing than vegging out on the couch, because now I have things that are done, and now I'm more relaxed because my to-do list isn't as long. The thing that I noticed is that my to-do list is just as long as ever, so I don't know how relaxing that is. So, what else was in there? Oh, I played some board games, and then my artist date was with doing nail art and makeup, and so I did a video of my nail art, and then I did my makeup, and then I took a picture of it afterwards. So that was kind of part of my reading deprivation, was doing my artist date as well, because it took a couple of days. I prepped my nails on one day, and then I actually did the videos and then the makeup, and then I had to do the video editing of the videos on a different day. And so it was kind of broken out into multiple days, and because of that, I don't think I want to video an artist date again, because it wasn't really, it was fun, but it wasn't really focused on me as much. I didn't get to go inside and focus on my artist child. I had fun doing it, but it was kind of like week 3 where it was, I have to do this video and I have to do it a certain way and I have to make sure I get the footage right, instead of just playing and enjoying it without this extra assignment on top of it. So the next artist date I am going to tweak and not do a video and make sure it is just about me. There's a question about changes, and I do feel like it was a journaling question that prompted changes. If you have if you feel stuck in an area of your life, and why, what does staying stuck help you? What's the payoff for staying stuck in that area of your life? And I thought, well, procrastinating on my writing is definitely feeling stuck. And it seemed like it harkened back to the same idea of being afraid of success. And that if I'm afraid to succeed and therefore I'm procrastinating, it's like I'm afraid of putting my work out there and then being told I'm a failure. And it's the opposite of being told you're a success, but it's like being proven that you're a failure and then going, oh God, this didn't work. What am I going to do? I told all these people I'm going to be a fabulous success. But I'm not. How do I deal with this now? And to avoid that reality, the payoff is avoiding the reality of being proven wrong, of believing that I can do it, and then what if I can't? But what if I can, and what if success is overwhelming and I can't handle it? So procrastinating, the payoff is, what if I can't handle the outcome? So it's just easier to stay where I am because I can handle being stuck. But I don't know if I can't handle being unstuck. So it was an interesting revelation to learn about myself and think, well, you just have to move past that. You just, logically in my brain, I know that that's not okay. I have to move forward. I have to put my work out there and get the critique and find out if it's good or if it's not good. And if it's not good, then I can fix things to make it good. And I can take success in small steps. And it's not necessarily going to be J.K. Rowling and you're running all over the place and you've got a million films. And even if it is, you step up into a role of success gradually for the most part. Most people are not lightning strikes, so I'm not too concerned about becoming a lightning strike because it's very unlikely, especially in historical romance Regency. There are not too many movie deals for that genre. So I did my morning pages every day. I started remembering my dreams, and I feel like I had a lot of water in my dreams, and so water I feel like is a spiritual sort of connotation, and so that was kind of interesting to journal about my morning pages where I was having references to spiritual things and trying to figure out what that meant and kind of what those dream references mean to me in my life, but without looking them up. I had to not look them up because I wasn't supposed to read. So it'll be interesting to see next week what more dreams come to me, and then if I choose to look them up next week, or if I decide to try and interpret them on my own, because I've been doing that on my own, what meanings do certain things have for me, versus what does the internet say those things mean. We'll see what I decide to do. But then the artist date did the nails and makeup. And the synchronicity, I went to the library because there is a book that I wanted. I put a hold on a book at home, and then I went to the library to see if it was ready for me to pick up. And then I found out that the hold that I put on the book didn't work. And so I was like, oh, is this synchronicity where I'm supposed to be having a reading deprivation week? And so the book hold didn't work, so I can't pick it up, so I'm not tempted to read this book. So I got the librarian to put the hold on the book properly at the library, and I'm number 39 in the list to get this book. So it's going to take a while to get on this hold list for this book. So I'm not sure if that's synchronicity or if it's just I don't know how to use the computer very well when at the library. But we will see if I have any more synchronicity going forward. I felt like at first, no, that wasn't synchronicity because it didn't work out, but then I thought, well, it was supposed to be reading deprivation, so maybe not getting the book was in tune with how things were going. I just wanted to make sure I was on the list because I knew it was a long list. And I didn't see my name on there even though I had put the hold. So, and I thought, well, maybe I'm not on the hold list because the book's waiting for me and I can wait and get it and just not use my self-control and not read the book until next week. But no, I wasn't there. And then number 4 in the check-in was that anything else. And so I had an encounter with myself. And it was a painful encounter. I learned I encountered a very raw, painful part of myself that left me like crying. And I kind of, with my journaling, I thought, oh my gosh, there's part of me that I need to accept part of who I am and be comfortable with this inner pain that I felt in order to like fully accept who I am. And I thought, wow, is this me? Like, am I rallying against something? Is this part of the block that I have, this part of why I'm stuck? Because I'm not understanding where this pain is coming from. So I don't know, it was a very uncomfortable experience. But it was an experience, that's for sure. So this is my week 4 check-in. And week 5 is recovering a sense of possibility. So I will get started on the reading today, and I will get moving on the exercises tomorrow on Monday for recovering a sense of possibility. But as far as week 4 goes, I highly, highly recommend trying to do the reading deprivation. In my experience, it was very beneficial. And I went nose to the grindstone. No TV, no video games, reading your email, very, very limited. Just enough to clean out the spam in your email box. I mean, I'm lucky I don't have a regular office day job right now. I'm working from home, writing and doing videos, and it's Christmas week, so there's a lot less going on in general right now. So I'm in a sweet spot as far as being able to cut all of that out. But honestly, no movies, no TV, no extraneous emails, no looking up articles, no YouTube videos, no radio, nothing. As little as humanly possible. And just remind yourself, it's 1 week. It's 1 week. Favorite the websites and the articles that you want to read and read them next week. Honestly, there's nothing in the news that is going to change your life, that's going to happen, that you have to read this week. I mean, it's one thing if it's related to your job. Sure, you need to read your work emails. And I'm a little bit more lenient than Julia Cameron is on homework if you're a student, because getting behind in chemistry or physics is a big deal, and you probably want to keep up on your classwork. I can see how that's kind of a job thing, but that's going to have to be a personal decision up to you. The most you can get away from reading and all of those chatty outside influences, and the radio, no listening to music, the same thing. I think the better your experience will be. So thanks for tuning in and watching, and I hope you'll give me a thumbs up and subscribe to Katie Bird's Nest and follow along in the series of my Artist Way for my 12-week recovery course on creativity. Thanks.